Calling all boudoir photographers. We are so excited to talk to you today. We have a very special treat for you. I'm Angela Kirkian, Director of Education here at PPA, and welcome to the Road to Imaging USA. Today we get to chat with the amazing Brittnie Price. And before I introduce her to you and we start our conversation, I just want to tell you how excited we are to have her at Imaging. We recently met. She's a new friend, and I'll call her my friend because we've had some amazing conversations. And I think the thing I'm most excited about for y'all is to get to meet someone who is so excited about this industry, who is so encouraging of the people she works with, and who has a true passion and love for sharing everything that she knows. And so, without further ado, I will introduce Brittnie Price. Brittnie, thank you so much for joining us today.
Angela, thank you so much. I'm telling you, like the warmest welcomes. You're always so sweet, so kind, and get me so excited. I'm so happy to be here.
Our conversations have been just really, really remarkable. And every conversation, I
Illuminating.
feel like I wish somebody was listening to this. Like we need to record this conversation, and don't forget to say that because that's so good.
I know, but that's the best, right? Like those are
It's
the
so
most
good.
illuminating conversations when, inspiration can just kind of jump in and play.
Truly, truly. And I want to thank the Boudoir Album. The Boudoir Album is sponsoring the workshop at Imaging this year. And so thank you, Boudoir Album, for introducing us to these amazing, remarkable women. Um,
The biggest thank you. Like they really are just so incredible at the Boudoir Album. I work with them exclusively. Like I love everyone that I've worked with there. Their products are so high quality. Their customer service is amazing. They're so kind. Like everything is just so tailored to the beauty and like the
mhm.
niche. Our industry, like what we do is just like we have a very specific little pocket of what we do, and it's handled with such care over there. They have an all-female team. Like they're just, I feel so safe, and I know my clients feel safe with their work with them. So I
Yeah.
cannot sing their praises enough, truly.
Yeah, I love that. I love that word care. You're right. That's exactly how they are. They really do care for this niche
They
in
care
photography.
so much.
So
Yeah, it
good.
shows.
Yeah. Well, I'm so excited to just jump into our conversation because we've talked a lot about creativity and mentorships and photography and
All of it.
passion and clients and all the good things. So I hope you guys stay tuned. This is going to be a fun ride. So just getting started, let's chat a little bit about what you love to share with other photographers.
Yeah, it's there's so much. There's so much. Like the first thing, I know we've talked about this, like one of the first things that I do when I start working with another photographer, whether they're coming to me for a session or they're coming to me for mentorship or running a workshop, my biggest priority is, my first question is like, what do you want to learn?
Yeah.
Where do you want to grow? There's so many ways that you can grow. We think like you can just pick up a camera and go. That's kind of like the narrative. I feel like if you're not a photographer, that's kind of what is, it's so easy to just say that and be like, well, just click the button. And it's like there's so many things to know about really truly catering to clients in this way. And, especially what I do, it's so healing for everybody. And um, you could want to run your business better. You could want to figure out your pricing. You could want to strengthen and elevate your artistry, which is what I focus on. I'm
Right.
big on the art of it. I'm big on understanding, not only understanding yourself as an artist and understanding your artistry, what you want to do, what you want to show, what inspires you. All of this plays into the way that we walk into the studio when we're going to serve a client, regardless of who that client is. So from client experience to really getting down to like the details, I'm very detail oriented. If you've ever worked with me, you know. So, some people come in and they just I want to get better at posing, but with intention. I can do that. I want to put more soul into my work. I can do that. I want to amplify my style. We can figure out together exactly how to do that. So, I really like to offer a tailored one on one experience for every one of my clients,
Yeah.
where I think a
Yeah.
lot of people, or I know a lot of people who just have their systems in place and they decide, like, okay, if you're coming into my studio, this is what you're going to get. Either you want it or you don't. And I think I have some of that, and I also have, but like, tell me more.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
as we're
Absolutely.
sharing, we find out what we know, right? So sharing that with other people, we start
Mm,
to
I
understand
like
ourselves a little bit better when we open up the door to self-discovery, and we
yeah.
open it up for other people to see what's going on as well.
As we share, we learn what we know. I love that. I love that. What I'm excited about for your class in particular is there's 2 parts to it. There's the lecture
Mhm,
portion, and
mhm.
then there's the shooting. So you guys are gonna be demoing, so you'll have models and shooting
Oh,
bays,
I'm
and
so
people
excited. I'm so
have
excited.
time with you to actually get to photograph next to you, which is gonna be really, really fun.
Yeah,
So when you're in your, creative kind of mindset, do you find it hard
yeah.
sometimes to go from, like, client work, like, thinking for a client, but then also thinking creatively, but then also thinking as a business person?
Yes and no. Um, I think I'm someone who likes to that's a really good question. I'm someone who likes to create freely.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
I just wanna go in and feel like, "Okay, this is my space. Let's make the most of whatever we have here." And I think that there are a lot of people, well, I know that there are a lot of photographers who go in and they think, okay, this is a client session, so it needs to be this way. This is a creative session, so it needs to be this way. And my big thing is like, you can blur that line a little bit. Like, you can bring your creative session into your client session
Yeah.
without sacrificing the client experience, you know? And there's so much, the customer's always right. And we can get scared of what exactly do they
Yeah.
want?
Yeah.
And that's part of being an artist, like, you have to bet on yourself. So much of that is doing the
Mm.
work to understand yourself as an artist, making mistakes, I cannot tell you enough, like, not being afraid of making mistakes in your session is gonna serve no matter who
Yeah.
who you're photographing. So, I just like to go in with that mindset. I don't really separate them. But because I am so creative, people come to me because they know that they can trust me with the styling, they can trust me with the posing. Like, you just have to tell me. One of the questions on my questionnaire for clients is, give me 3 words that you want to embody, that you want to
Mhm.
see in your artwork. That
I
to
love that.
me, they know when they're saying, like, let's say, empowered's too common a word. Let's say I wanna feel soft. Like,
Mm.
I just wanna feel soft and comfortable in my body. I wanna look comfortable in my softness, whatever that means. That's enough for me
Yeah.
to go in and be like, "This is all the ways that we're gonna challenge from my perspective, because 'cause they're hiring me for my vision. What is my vision given the information that you have given me about your body, how you feel in it, how you feel about how you feel in it, what you love, what you're learning to love?" That's the client stuff. That's just
Yes.
taking care of your client.
Yeah.
And then on the other side, the creative gets to come in and just support that. And then it starts to feel lighter and more buoyant because you're going in with, "Okay, here's my idea, but
Yes.
I I
Yes.
don't I don't restrict myself." I think that's what my clients love about my work, is that I don't
Yeah.
restrict myself, and I don't restrict them either. Um,
It's so
I'm big on
interesting
checking
when I
in, but
yeah, when I sorry, when I listen to you,
oh, you're great.
I feel like I love your language, like the words that you use. Like, how do you
Oh,
tap
thank you.
into that? What is that? Like, is that how do you tap into that? And how do you help other boudoir photographers kinda tap into their own language, right? Because that's
Yeah,
part of
yeah.
creativity, isn't it? Like, how we connect and how
Totally, totally, totally. It's huge. And again, it's understanding and doing the work to
Mhm.
understand yourself as an artist. Like, why
Yeah.
what's your why? So many people say,
Ooh,
"What's
yeah.
your why?" And I think, for a lot of people, it 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 can't be, "I wanna make money." And I think that's a big thing in the industry right now. I hear a
Yeah.
lot of people talking about, "But I wanna make more. I wanna make 6 figures. I wanna make," and it's like, that's amazing. And it's easier than ever to do that right now. Like, we have some incredible resources available to photographers, boudoir photographers specifically, of all skill levels.
Sure.
Like, you can, if you wanna learn it, like, you can get it. Um, but I just try to really remember that the first impression that a client gets is what they see of you. People
Mm,
aren't gonna read your about page. I mean, they might if they're really interested, but that's, like, if we're surfing and we're,
right.
like, perusing into the depths of your website. What does your art say about you? What do you want it to say about you, and how are you gonna get there? And that's what I help photographers to get to the bottom of.
I love that. So now I'm gonna ask you, what does your art say,
Yeah.
Brittnie?
What does my art say? That you
Yeah.
can, that that your divine feminine is the end all be all. That is it. Like, I'm big on
Yeah.
push everything out,
Yeah. Yeah.
come into the studio, forget the world,
Mm,
forget your expectations of who you're supposed to be. When you are in your divine feminine element, how do you think that feels for you? That's what I want people to come in to see
yeah.
me for. I want them to have something that says, "This is me at my most proud of my
Yeah.
divine
Yeah.
feminine right now," because that changes, it ebbs and
Mhm.
flows, we don't
Yeah.
just have one session in your lifetime, I think people think that it's like a once in a lifetime experience, and it doesn't have to be, I don't think it should
Mm.
be, but I just want people to look and be like, "Wow, I'm amazing. What was I thinking shrinking myself down?" And I think when, the kind of art that inspires me, we look at like the big Renaissance paintings and sculptures and like, the really, I mean, when you think of like fine art, you go to a museum, like stuff that should be in a gallery, like that's
Mhm.
my bag. I want you to feel larger than life and then be able to look and be like, wait, but that's the same body. Like I can touch that body right now. That's amazing.
Oh, I love
So
that.
I guess I always want my art to say like, think bigger. You're bigger than you think you are. You're better
Yeah.
than you think you are. You're
Yeah.
more beautiful than you think you are. You're stronger than you think you are.
Yeah.
Stop playing small, you
So
know?
I feel like you say that to your clients, but I also feel like you say that to the people you teach. I feel like you that's just your message in
All
life,
the time.
right? It's to
All the time.
photographers too. Like, what's your big takeaway?
All
What's your big thing for photographers coming to your class? Like, what do you want them to leave with?
what do I want them to leave with? I
Yeah.
want them to leave with I just want I want them to leave feeling like, A, why have I been waiting to create this vision that I've had in my head?
Mm,
Why have I been waiting to, rent that beautiful studio I love, but I feel like I can't fill? Um, I can make anything. I can make anything that I want. Like, that's what I want people to feel like. I feel like, especially in this age of like, we're in a very, like I said, everything's very accessible. It's accessible to have, like, you can build a business, a boudoir business, invest some money, get,
yeah.
everything you need, plug it in, and go. But there's a healing element that comes with really, like, I don't know, allowing yourself to be a visionary, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is the big thing for me.
Yeah.
What's your vision? Because if
If
you don't have a vision, then, like, you're just taking pretty pictures of people, which is great, but I like to attract the people who just wanna do more than that.
yeah. It feels so intuitive and it feels very holistic. It feels very like you're marrying lots of parts of people together. You're helping them marry their own
Yeah.
parts together, right? And
Yeah,
reminding them a little bit
yeah,
about who they are.
yeah. Because I think when we it's different between, like, having a hobby or doing something that we love and then monetizing it and making our business, and
Right.
when we make it our business, then the stakes go up.
Right.
Then
Right.
it's like, "Ugh, I have to feed my family, I have to do everything, I have to make sure that clients are happy, I have to make sure
Yes.
everything it's like then it's just like, okay, well, then it has to become more rigid, we think.
Mm.
So it's just about, like, you can run a business and keep clients
Yeah.
happy and be creative and safely work against, what we believe is inevitable, which is just, like, the burnout. I think people just think, "Oh, I'm burnt out, can't do anything now," and it's like, "No, we can
Yeah.
we can fix that, we can work on that."
How do you
Just like
get
we
yourself
have to
out of
do
a
the
rut?
work.
What does that look like? Have you gotten to that place? Have you experienced that?
Uh, oh, yes. Oh, yes.
She says so, yes.
Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, I've had the days when I'm like, "I'm gonna quit doing this. I'm just gonna get a job." Like, I have, and I think that's normal.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
we think about it being a roller coaster, it literally is that, right? So, for me, I know that things are gonna go like this, you know?
Yeah.
When we're down here, it's so easy to be like, "I'll never get out." But, like, girl, you were just here, and you're gonna be there again.
Yes,
You know what
yes.
I mean? So it's like the momentum from the highs just has to get you through the lows, what feel like the lows,
Yeah, yeah.
and then to get you back up to the high.
Mhm.
And people think I think it's so easy to feel like it's this toxic relationship with creativity, and it's not. It's just having a relationship with creativity.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
because
going to happen, but to get
yeah.
out of it, I'm a big fan of F it. Like, I go into my big, like, "I don't care. I gotta make something." And I usually will make something. I try to make something that I try to make something that I won't like, and that
Oh,
is a huge
interesting.
help for me.
Why? Why do you go that tell me about that. I wanna know more.
Um, I mean, I'm not, like, just throwing things everywhere, but,
Yeah,
like, I'm
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to relinquish, so much of that is then perfectionism. It's the,
Mm,
like, I'm not doing that comes from,
yeah,
I must not be doing this the right way. I'm
yeah,
doing this the
yeah.
wrong way. There's something that I'm missing. It's art. Art is life, art is connection, art is just truth. So I feel like for me,
Mm,
um, if I'm feeling messy, why not go in and make a mess? Don't repress the energy. Get it out.
yeah,
Go
yeah.
and make something that you're not gonna like, and then you know what? You're gonna go in and you're gonna see, "Oh, there are some ugly pictures. Hey, I didn't think this would work out so nicely." And
Yes.
boom, we've
Yeah,
unlocked it. We have a new idea. We wanna further explore.
yeah.
We have our inspiration for our next session, our next creative session, like whatever it is. We have an idea that we wanna explore a little bit for more fully, like whatever that is,
I
that's really important.
yeah, I love the way you think. I feel like you turn things upside down and backwards, and get us to look at things from a very different direction, which is so vital. I mean, we are
It's
creatives, and you're right.
necessary.
It is a relationship. That creative relationship um, can be interesting, can be really
Mhm.
interesting. We have some
Yeah.
questions coming in, so I don't wanna I'm
Yay!
enjoying this conversation, but I don't wanna hog you, so I'm gonna let
Oh,
other
you know
people ask
what?
the
I
questions.
love it. I love it. Do whatever you want.
So Melody is wondering, Brittany, can you speak to any common misconceptions about boudoir photography?
Any misconceptions? Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, I mean, we're seeing it everywhere. Everyone is on the internet. It's really hard to be a boudoir photographer right now, right? Social media is like, "Hey, we don't like nudity, so if you could just restrict your
Mm,
work."
mm,
Which is something that I'm working on trying to, find a way always trying to find a way around that so we can, again, keep our sights on what we're creating in the full image. Um, but I just had my payment processor cancel my account because I make adult content, which is wild because we all know we're not making porn. I don't know if I can
oh,
say that. But that's a lot of things too. People think
yeah,
it's like unladylike. It's not
mm,
how we're supposed, women should be living a more shameful experience. How dare you? Um, and I, am huge on rebelling against that because why? Like, why?
because why?
But why? But it's been, since the beginning of time. I mean, since the beginning of art, like this has been a thing, Um,
Yeah,
but I mean, people are gonna think what they're gonna think. I think the women specifically who are anti boudoir or think that it's a bad thing, that says so much more about the critique that they've received upon their body and
mm,
have accepted and have internalized. Um, And it's just that's the fear of doing it. So,
Yeah.
I think for whatever misconceptions there are, my thing is always, "Yeah, but that just means you haven't done it." Like, there's some fear there,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
you
How
know?
do women feel? Like, I feel like boudoirs has certainly had a resurgence, and there's
Yeah.
a much wider variety of style,
Mhm.
and I love that because I feel like it's flourishing. It's growing, right? It's this beautiful, evolving, genre. Eh, can you talk to that a little bit about, like, this resurgence and what people are loving about it and why it feels like there's more freedom in it in a lot of ways?
I think there is more freedom. It's just becoming more popular. Again,
Mhm.
everything's so much more accessible. We have educators out here who are creating these guides that are just like a plug and play, like, you know what I mean? Figure out what works for you, make it work, implement it. And it's made everything so accessible. It's made everything so wonderful. And we also have things like posing guides, which I have personally have a love-hate relationship with. Like, I love them. I love that they're accessible. I
Yeah,
am
yeah.
kind of like an anti-guide photographer, and mentor, but that is just because, again, what is your personal style? Like, we have all these people who are coming in, and we're so eager to have a photography business, which is so important. But we also have to remember it's healing. It carries more weight than just like a lifestyle session. And
Yeah,
so I just
yeah.
think it's so important to be able to find your style
I love that.
and stick to
So
it.
we do have another question. Wes is wondering, is there a go-to technique that you use to help a client feel more comfortable during their sessions?
Ooh, this is something I'd love to talk to my mentees about. Okay, and we cover this in workshops as well, and I'll definitely be covering it at imaging. It's huge, client comfort. From the beginning of your consultation, that's where I start building comfort for my clients. It starts at the beginning. And that's just because we have to have that know, like, and
Mhm.
trust factor is a
Yeah,
huge part of it, especially because this is such a vulnerable experience.
yeah,
Um, so I like to check in with them and make sure that they know, no stress. I'm styling you. I've got your hair and makeup covered. I'm very detail oriented with posing. So, like, I don't, we'll melt and we'll find it and I'll give you cues, but I will never sit you down and say, like, okay, girl, now do a sexy pose. Okay, now look at me sexy. Like, what is that? I hate
mhm.
that. Throw it
Right.
away. Um, so, so my big thing is establishing that comfort from the beginning,
Mm.
like, "Don't worry, I got you," in a big way. I like to affirm their nerves, which may sound counterintuitive, but I don't want them to think that they can't be nervous when they come in because then already we're saying,
Right.
"Whatever you're feeling, put it away and come do this." And it's like, that's not what this is about.
Yeah,
Bring your nerves because that's just energy.
yeah,
And all that energy, this session is going to allow us to shift that energy for you. Because if we just put it away and we hold it in, it stays the same, and then it's like, "Okay, well, what do I do with this? Why did I even do that?" But that's when they feel the change
yeah.
from even in the first 15 minutes of the session. I'm also big on checking in. So I check in, "Are you comfortable?" Check in, "How are we feeling?" A lot, like I'm a chronic, checker-inner, because I
Yeah,
just like to make sure that I'm, again, creating a safe space where
yeah.
not just our bodies feel safe, but, like, we're curating an energy that allows us to feel inspired, feel the energy move, and then get it moving.
I love that. I love that for your clients. I'm putting myself in their shoes and just feeling that love. Like, it just feels very comforting and also empowering and, um, yeah, like, I love how you think of energy as, like, something that actually moves, that and it can evolve, right? That's huge.
Well, we have
I
so
love
much
that.
anxiety around our bodies, right? Like, in our
Yes,
bodies as women. It's
yes,
just
yes.
normal. It's just normal, and we're all so used to functioning so highly with it that we don't even start to notice that it is. So if we can take a moment outside of all the pressures of the world, outside of the
Mhm.
what does this person see when they look at me? What is this person thinking? Why did that person say that way? Why was this lady being so rude? Why was, all these life things come in, and
Yeah,
then we have trauma in our bodies, right? So we're not even paying attention to all of that when we have all these little things in life. So it allows us to take a step back, get into a safe space, really get into your body like you have not allowed yourself to, maybe.
yeah, yeah.
and feel it, because then you can feel the anxiety. You get to notice your little nervous habits as I'm posing you and I'm like, "Girl, stop
Yeah.
doing that with your hands. Love you."
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yes, yes. Um, gosh, I am so excited for your program. Everybody needs to go see
Ah, I
you.
can't wait.
One more question. What advice
Yeah.
would you give a guy who is doing boudoir photography?
Do your research. Don't be afraid. Be
Yeah.
open to listening. That's the
Mhm.
biggest thing. It's so I've never been a man doing I've never been a man. I've never been a man doing boudoir photography either. So I don't know. I do know that that living in a woman's body makes it unquestionably easier for me to empathize with the struggles and everything. There's so
Yeah.
many things that we don't think about that male photographers do. That said, I do know of women who would feel more comfortable with a man taking their images. So it's not impossible, but
Mhm.
do your research. And I would say like talk to some women about how they feel in their bodies. That would be my advice. I know that's like a, handle with care, maybe family or,
Yeah.
someone you trust,
Yeah.
to give you a good response. And then, do your research. Um, there are some really great male photographers who are really doing things very well, taking incredible care of their clients, who do really good work, who are really strong. So I would say study, do your due diligence, and find a mentor.
Yeah. I think you
Because
said
we're
this
not so
earlier.
physically aware of that energy.
Yeah, I was just thinking earlier when you were talking about even the language and the words that you use and the questions that you ask and really paying attention to their language, right? A part of
Mhm.
listening is like really taking that in and understanding that element, that piece of it. I
And
think
being
that's
able to then say it back to them to show that, we understand, like, really internalizing that.
mhm.
Um, I also think that really practicing, like, I think it would be a really good idea to get a male boudoir photographer to teach you, but also getting mentorship from a female boudoir photographer, because I think that we can express so much and help to bridge that gap a little bit.
Yeah, yeah,
If you find a good teacher who really wants to help you and not just like serve their own ego, which that's just the human condition sometimes. But really finding someone who understands what you're looking to do,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and practice with models first.
Oh, that's good.
And
Yeah.
talk to your models. That's who you should ask about how they feel in their body and everything.
Oh, that's
I
good.
think that that's
That's
a
really
you should
good.
get professional models and talk to them about their experiences, because that may surprise you.
Hmm. I love this. I could talk to you all day. Our 30 minutes. We are approaching the end
I
here.
know,
A
all day.
question for you. Are you gonna be around on Sunday for the Networking Avenue? Will people get to see you there as well? Will you be around on Sunday?
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah,
Okay, so
yeah, I would love
everybody,
to be able to mingle around.
that's gonna be so fun. So on Sunday at 6:30, we have the Networking Avenue. It's right before the opening night party, and it's an opportunity for you guys to get to meet all of the speakers. They'll be around. There's different topic tables. You'll be able to go and ask questions. They'll have little ask me buttons on, and then we'll have shooting bays and some other fun things for you guys. So if you're coming to imaging, make sure you come to Networking Avenue
Yes,
Sunday
come
at
say hi.
6:30.
Let me give you a
And
squeeze.
you'll get
Well,
to meet
I know
Brittany.
not everyone wants to hug, so I don't have to give you a squeeze. I can give you a little, "Hey, girl," we'll have a little kiki with distance. I love that, but I would love to meet and catch up with
I love
everybody.
it.
I'm so
I love it.
excited.
And one more plug for your class, at Imaging. So the Boudoir Album is sponsoring a whole day of boudoir, and, there's a couple different classes. There's 4 different instructors. You're teaching, with Shannon Doherty, and then we also have Kelly
Yay.
Marie Connor and Alicia Haskett, teaching a
All
class.
amazing.
It's gonna be so much fun. Actually is a lecture only class if you just wanna do the lectures, but there's also getting to photograph next to these amazing women. So yeah, if you're interested, just go and take a look, imagingusa.com, look at the schedule, and see what class you'd be interested in taking.
It's
Um,
going to be magical.
it's going to be fun. It's
I
going to be a
haven't
lot of
met
fun.
any of these women. I know these women online. Like, Shannon is a good internet friend of mine. Kelly is a good internet friend of mine. Like, I personally am so excited because I haven't been able to meet these women, but I already know their power tenfold. So I'm just so, so grateful to be included.
Thank you. Brittnie, thank you for taking the time with us today. I am so happy to call you my new friend, and I can't wait to see you in
Oh,
person
yeah,
at
we're
Imaging
friends, girl.
USA.
This is friendship,
I love
okay? If
it.
you can talk art, then that's it.
Thank you, my friend. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you at Imaging.
Thank you so much.